yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need a G-Wagons. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sense. That good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need a G-Wagons. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sense.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they can't laugh and they so mad, it's like
then yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need a G-Wagons. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sense. That good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need a G-Wagons. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sense.
yeah, hey, look what I got. New whip with no top. Cooking up no stove top.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Hi everyone!
What's up, bro?
I don't think I've done like a general introduction yet as to who I am, so I thought I would do that now.
I can't stand stupidity. If you're gonna say stupid shit.
Hi, my name is Bunny and I use bun pronouns.
What is your problem, man?
I am a gender fluid, trans femme, pan-romantic, great ace, white passing Japanese person.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Swole normal.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing, testing, testing. Test, test, test. Testing, testing, testicles. Testing, testicles, testicles. Welcome, everyone, to episode 22 hundo and 80 schwam of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gamecast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and your hoes? It's your boy, Papa Swolio, back with another episode. In today's episode, the Beastcast is brought to you as powered, is sponsored by Eversting K2 Flexin. On all you...
It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
The fucking Catalina wine mixer.
How are we doing, you beautiful, beautiful beaches? Welcome to the Daily Swole Podcast. It's the most amazing sleazecast in the realm. You all know it. You already know. Make sure you hit that like button and share the stream. We are live on all the platforms. Check all the links in the show notes down below. If you're just listening, I recommend you bang your eye holes too. But if you can't bang your eye holes, you can subscribe to the Daily Swole Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you want to download and you want to bang your fucking orifices with the Swole fam. That's what you got to do. Everywhere. We're everywhere. All right, drop in the comments down below. What'd you smash today? Let's say hello to the live fam. We got British Bear in the house. Betty Ford, what's up? Nick, how we doing? Sayin, Cerny, Tyler, Keith, Lacey, Dan, what up? Shane, how we doing? Beesh, what's going on? Elizabeth, Miss K, how we doing? Kurt, Lila, Grizzly, Annika, fantastic. Lupe, Loretta, Kim, Tyler, fam. We are ready to get into an amazing show. Let's fucking go. Are you ready, Beaches? Let's get amped up. Let's say hi to Tainty Boy before we get into it. The Tainty Cam in full effect, and he's already knocked the fuck out. So he looks good. Let's get a round of applause for the roof. Little Rufus reprieve. Very nice. All right, fam. On to the show. Let us summon the Falcon. Let's get today's card. If I Swole text you, if you're a member, you already know what the Swole card is. It's a great one, and I recommend you take this motherfucking advice. Let's get it on. Falcon. Voice of an angel. Nailed it. We like to party. We like to party. All right, thank you so much, Leo. Yeah, cheers. Okay, hashtag don't be a beesh. It's a beautiful card. Tessie, you're looking sexy as always. Sexy like a snack. Tess Hornaday, everyone. Tess Hornaday, round of applause. And of course, hashtag don't be a beesh. We'll give this Swole card away to one of you lucky beeshes. Ironically, you are a beesh, but don't be a beesh. You know what kind of beesh you don't want to be. So drop that hashtag in the comments down below, and we'll give that away at the end of today's episode. Let's fucking go. Spit on it. Babe, just an inch. It's cold outside. All right, we got some great Swole fan posts. We're going to jump into it. Reminder, tomorrow we have a bonus overtime segment for members only inside Swolenormous X. Another reason to join the fam today. Tomorrow is FEF. And we do have overtime tomorrow, so be there. Be there. I will text you and let you know what time we're going live. Best way to spend Friday is with the fam. And of course, in the overtime segments, completely uncensored. Not like the show is censored as it is, but there's some things that we can't show here on the main stream because we're already on the brink of getting banned all the time. We don't need to add fuel to the fire in that sense. So we go over brand new edits that we can't post on public platforms. We do some throwback episodes, and it's fire. So join us tomorrow, overtime. Going to be lit. First post is from Adam from our discussion boards on Swolenormous X. Adam says, new here and happy to be on board. I'm a former Marine, and I have had great success with different diet and exercise routines. I'm more fit than your average Joe, but I find myself backsliding into eating trash or smoking. I have smoked for about 17 years. Not sleeping properly and excusing it with my circumstances, job stress, home life, environment, etc. It's become clear to me that while I'm excited about the elimination diet and many of the resources here, the main thing I have been missing is the reason I'm here: consistency and accountability through community. Excited to meet you all and be a part of the greatest fitness fam in the realm. And I could not say it better myself. It is the greatest fam in the realm, in my opinion. Swole fam is the greatest fam, especially in this realm. Let's see. While I'm excited about the elimination diet and many of the resources, consistency and accountability. Well, you are in the right place for community, that's for sure. And the consistency is the difference. It's the game changer. Very excited to hear about your progress with the elimination diet. A lot of people kind of, I'm going to do the elimination diet. You're not necessarily, it doesn't sound like you're putting the importance behind the elimination diet because you haven't done it yet. You don't realize how awesome it is. So I look forward to hearing about your progress. Maybe we can get you off the smoking and some of those other habits, but you're in the right place. We are going to suck and drag the best out of you. So get ready to put in some fucking work, Adam. Welcome to The Swole family. Everyone say welcome, Adam.
And that's the way, I like it. Casey on the sunshine
Good
bun.
stuff. Welcome, Adam. All right, we got a post here from Angie. And Angie writes, family. I know this may be long, and I'm sorry. That's what she said. I can't help it. I can't help it. That's what she said. It's literally what she said. All right, family, I know this may be long, and I'm sorry, but I feel like I have something I need to share. Well, this is the place for that. My last post was in 2020. Papa read it on episode 1506. Wow. My binge eating was out of control. My blood sugar through the roof, and I honestly just wanted to die. After that post, I just quit. My health got worse. My weight creeped up to almost 300 pounds. I couldn't see a way out. Community. I know my job and the people I was around hindered my progress. But I've been at my job for years. My 401k, my security. It took me 2 years. I quit my job last month. Took a job in another town. Moved away from everything and every person I knew. I had lived in that town for 30 years. I cashed in my 401k and used the money to pay off all my bills. I found a place to live that was less than half of what I was paying. I work 40 hours a week now instead of 60. I found time for me. Papa was right. I'm sorry it took me so long to take that step. I'm away from the toxic people in my life. I'm no longer eating out. I'm walking and staying in a workout routine. My blood sugar is starting to drop. I'm a month into my new life and know that in order for me to get the most out of it, I need support. So I'm back on my way to being a better me. What an amazing post. Good for you, Angie. That's amazing. Wow, what a post. That's some heavy shit. That's deep. This is just the tip, but that's pretty deep. We kind of got a couple deep thrusts in there already. That's amazing. And the more responsibility you have, the more things that you build up in one location, the harder it is to uproot. The same way that it's hard to uproot a 30-year-old tree rather than a seedling that you just put in. So having roots in a town, 30 years, that's a lifetime. That's a full-blown, obviously it's not as long as we all hope to live, but it's a lot longer than some people are given. So 30 years, it's a long time. It's a long time. And that takes some stones in the best sense of the word. It's not about the money. It can't be about the money. You can't just work more, make more money and expect to be happy. That's something that you manifest. That's something that you receive. And you're not always going to be happy. Happiness is not really the goal. It shouldn't be the goal. You have to definitely invest in yourself. You have to challenge yourself. You have to allow yourself to grow. You have to allow yourself to develop. And think about this. When you were in your previous town that you lived for most of your life, you didn't have anywhere to grow. You knew everything. You knew everyone. You were just stagnant, stale. You need to get that stimulus. Same thing with exercise. Same thing with training. You need that stimulus. So the way I talk about my training now, as you all know, I'm doing a lot more steel club. I'm doing mace. I do a lot more kettlebell stuff. I still do other types of lifting. I still use bars. I still use dumbbells and things of that sort. But it's important to learn new skills, one, because it keeps you more adaptable and it's stimulating psychologically. You still want to do what works, but you also want to learn new skills. You want to develop, you want to grow as an individual, grow your skills, even looking at it from just a fitness standpoint. You need that stimulus. You need that change. It doesn't have to be mind-blowing, but you need to add things to your plate in the sense of giving yourself the opportunity to be challenged and to develop and to grow and to persevere. So you were just stale. You were stale. It was old. And you fucking did it. That's awesome. Hadouken! That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Another round of applause. Yeah, we actually do have like a little bit of a... We do have a plan for some of those shirts. Someone says Papa was right should be a shirt. Yeah, we had a fun idea for a couple different shirts like that. And what would Papa Swole do? Yep. Yeah, we're gonna have a little collection where it's like, Papa Swole yelled at me. Papa Swole yelled at me today. So we got a lot of stuff coming. I don't have to be, I'm glad that I was right, but more so than that, I'm just glad that you found it. I'm glad that you found it. I don't have to be right. I'm just glad that you found it. They just happen to be crossing over. It just happened to be so. A lot of this advice and stuff that I experienced myself and that I've gone through and that a lot of members of the Swole fam have gone through, sometimes you just have to experience it. You have to have that threshold. Everyone has a different threshold. You just have to be aware if you're increasingly raising your threshold of how much bullshit you're going to take in your life, because you only have one, and you want to make sure that you live the life that you want to live. So develop it. You're not going to get the life that you want to live unless you take action and steps towards it. If you just expect that, eventually it's going to just be there. How? Nothing is just there. Nothing is just there. You have to create it. You have to put in the effort to create that. You have to give yourself the opportunity. Angie had to break away. She left. She separated herself. And it took a lot. It took a lot. She said it took 2 years to finally pull that switch, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people never do. All right, we got another post here from... Well, that was a good one. Not bad.
I gave it a 10.
Oh.
A 10. A fucking
That was good.
10.
There we go. I got the rest of it. Okay. Let's see. Steffi, don't get all butthurt. Papa said fuck off to me before, but in the nicest way possible. Indeed. It's with your best interest in mind. Krista, hi fam. How much fat is too much fat? Well,
You can be fat and be healthy. I'm sorry, Lizzo, healthier than I will ever be.
yeah, all right. I love pot roast in a slow cooker, and when it's done, I don't pour out the fat. I put it with the meat in a glass dish and put in the refrigerator. When it cools, there is so much fat. I like to reheat it under the broiler, and I put some fat with it. In the red dish, I have a portion of pot roast and some fat. How much fat should I be putting back in? The fat I don't use, can I store in the refrigerator use to cook eggs in? When I broil or grill ribeyes, I feel like I am also losing the fat, or is there enough still on it after the grilling? If you broil, there's a lot of questions here. If you broil, do you ever pour the fat from below back in it? Yes, I like meat well done. Okay. Never. Mom always said never trust someone that likes well done steak. Yes, I like meat well done. Yes, I know to many of you I ruined it. It's not really to many of us. It's just factual information. I know. She's already like protect. I know. But considering 4 months ago I was vegan, this is progress. Indeed. Let's get a round of applause. Let's get a little America for that. I do agree with that. I forgot that Krista was one of our resident Swole vegans. So would you agree, fam? Would you agree? That's a huge benefit. I will say that naturally, I think you're going to go more rare over time. You will go more rare over time. If you become a connoisseur, in the sense of if you start investing, the food that you purchase is investing. Getting a grass-fed ribeye steak is much more expensive than other forms of consumption. However, you are also getting more nutrient-dense food. So the value you get. But if you're investing in grass-fed beef, especially if you're getting just, ground beef, it might be $6, $7, $8 a pound as opposed to $3 or whatever regular ground beef might cost. I would say regular, but grain-fed, GMO, hormones, just sick animals. When you invest in making better intentional purchases, you also want to cook it. You don't want to ruin it. You want to make sure you're getting the nutrient. The reason why you're eating it is because it's better for you. You want to get the nutrient value from it. So I think over time, and as you learn more and as you focus more on doing the best for you, I think for most people, you'll navigate a little bit more rare over time. I think some people, I feel like that's the way a lot of people go. The more you're eating, the more you kind of lean more towards rare. Doesn't mean you eat it completely rare or raw. Anyway, she continues, that's huge. That's huge. Eating well-done steak is much better than being a vegan for health purposes. My diet is meat and fruit, mostly watermelon and other melons and bananas, and small amounts of cheese and eggs. but not cheese and eggs daily. Not looking to change that yet. Just curious about the fat. Does anyone else do pot roast? So you're talking about, is that like technically tallow? That's just not like pure tallow, right? You got some other elements in there too. That's pretty much what tallow is. I mean, it's beef fat. Suet is fat from around the organs, and then you can render that into tallow. I would just put in what you like to consume and what feels good for you. People do this with broth as well. When you put broth in the fridge, you'll see the fat and the broth separate. You can put that back in. It's just a lot more heavy, and some people can't handle that right away. I would definitely add in what you like to eat. What feels good for you? So I think that's a very individual question or individual perspective as to what is too much fat. Obviously, if you don't feel good eating X amount, then you might want to back off a little bit. But coming from being a vegan, your body is definitely craving a lot of these. Chris, are you watching live? How many years were you a vegan, or how long were you a vegan? Your body is probably just craving nutrients hardcore. So I would just add back in what you feel comfortable with. In terms of too much, there's a lot of factors that would maybe determine too much, but there's nothing wrong with consuming fat. From my experience and my opinion, you get a lot of, it's nutrient dense calories too. How many years were you on the dark side? Let's see. Oh, okay. That's right. Betty Ford is Krista. Over 3 years vegan. So 3 years, that's a long time. That's a long time. So your body is just really, have you felt it? Have you felt your body just starting to crave these foods and just wanting to resaturate? Your body is just probably in shock, like, oh my God, dense nutrition. It's real food. Jarella, when I went back to eating meat after years of vegetarianism, it was like I couldn't eat enough meat. That's what she said. No, but it's true. You need to, and we've talked about it. A lot of times when you are a vegan, you can go a few years without falling off before you have major issues. Some people can go a couple years before they have major health issues. And very rarely do people actually make it through and can maintain that long term and really be thriving. They usually look emaciated and just depleted and pale and scraggly, and their skin and their hair and their nails are just like, look horrific. So imagine your body just essentially being starved for micronutrients. Krista, ironically, I went vegan for health and I gained weight and got sick and had to take other meds. Well, hopefully you can get off all that stuff. Hopefully this takes you in that direction. Yes. Good for you. Yes. My body loves it. I'm going to eat some liver soon. Oh, Krista's back. Krista's back. Probably feels like you're born again. You're another lease on life. Imagine just not getting food for a couple years. You're eating like a cow. And not in a good way. Steph, hey fam, I've been keeping up with yoga, eating well, and focusing on small wins every day. My mental health has been suffering still, and it's affected what I feel capable of accomplishing. Today at my part-time job, one of the girls asked a guy to grab something heavy off a top shelf, my top of my reach, and I'm 5'11". I told her I'd get it, and she said, but it's heavy. I'm so much stronger than I was at the start of my journey. It was heavy, but I got the box off the shelf with almost no issue and carried it all the way out to her. That's fucking great. That's fucking great. Good for you. Little wins. Little wins. Little wins. Sometimes you don't realize how far you've come. A lot of times, for myself included, a lot of times we as individuals, when our heads are down, when we're working, when we're going through a lot of ups and downs, trying to build these habits, you still have a lot of things that you still need to take care of, and life can go pretty quickly. And you don't realize how far you've come until you look back. And sometimes it's like finding an old picture and you see how much oh my God, I used to look like this? No fucking way. Well, obviously a picture isn't the same as being in real life, but you can see when you're obese or fat or puffy in a picture and you come across it and it blows your mind. you think, how could I ever have been like that? You don't realize because you see those gradual changes in the mirror slowly over time, super slowly over time. And it doesn't sometimes just hit you in the face until you see something like a picture, or you do something that in the past you would have thought would have been too heavy, and then you do it with ease. So good for you. Good for you. Last post here. Awesome. They'll take some questions from Tristan. What's up, Beesh? From the discussion boards in Swolenormous X. Hello, everyone. I've been getting pumped listening to Papa Swolio for a couple weeks now and knew I had to join the fam. Glad to be here with y'all and ready to continue the grind of going to the fucking gym. Tristan in the fucking house. That's what I'm talking about, baby. All right. We are into some knowledge cock. If you got a question, drop in the comments down below. Hashtag ask Papa Swolio. Drop that in the comments down below. We will take some questions. We got some from Instagram and the social platforms. And of course, we'll opt for live questions. Let's get a little tainty boy. Very nice. He's the Sleepies. And of course, today's Swole card giveaway at the end of today's episode is Don't Be a Beesh. Drop that in the comments down below. Hashtag Don't Be a Beesh. Red King 5318. What do you love the most except gym? Mama Swolio. Oh. Just in case she watches this later. Just in case she catches the clip. Nailed it. It is true. It is true. It is true. What do you love the most? Other hobbies and things that I like? Got puppies, got Mama Swolio. I really do love training. And it's also the skills, steel club and mace. I just enjoy moving my body and doing mobility work. Butterflies, we have a butterfly garden, so we like doing work around the house and improving things, organizing. Really just enjoying that right now. Love butterflies. I can't wait to get some more plants and develop that and build it out and repot a bunch of those things. And we're working on strategizing, planting more trees. And we got some baby mango trees that we might replant around the place. So there's a lot of things we'd like to do. And yeah, that's where the focus has been. And steak. That does help tremendously. Steffi, what's the difference between ribeye, strip loin, filet mignon? Just price? Well, yeah, price, but there are also different parts of the cow. Just look it up. And it'll show you from different locations where it's from. Certain cuts will have different, different connective tissues or cartilage. Like New York strip has a really unique cartilage that like spine on the back of it is really good. Please, if you're eating a ribeye or New York strip, eat the fat, eat that part. It's the best fucking part of the steak. Please eat that part. And if it doesn't taste good, then whoever cooked it doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. It's the best part. Enjoy it. And when it comes to steak, a lot of times the price relates to the most delectable cuts. Ribeye is probably, in my opinion, the most delicious cut. New York strip is good, but it's lean. It's just a little bit. It's not as fatty as ribeye. I just prefer ribeye. But I would look it up because you'll see the different. It's just different parts of the cow, but they are different in terms of probably nutrients or fat content and macros and stuff. Papa, for example, we use London broil for jerky. You don't want to use really fatty cuts for jerky. JC, Papa Soy, what's your opinion on monk fruit or stevia as sweeteners? I don't use them. For a lot of people, it'll disrupt the gut and it'll cause some indigestion. It's just kind of gross, in my opinion. British, from one cigar smoker to another, what is your go-to stogie? I really love Insidious. That's a really nice. I don't like necessarily, and Cameroons. I like Cameroons, but Insidious is really nice. I think it's like Connecticut, but it's very flavorful. And I do like Cameroons. I think it was Aladino. I forget if there was anything else, but it was the Cameroon. Two really nice ones. Grizzly, Papa Soya, how's the butterfly garden? It's going well. It's going well. There's a bunch of vines that we just never plant. We never didn't plant anything. They're all in pots, but they just kind of died. Kind of wasted a bunch of money there buying these like butterfly, but they take so long to regrow. So the vines for certain of the butterflies, it just takes a long time to regenerate. My favorite plants that we have are some senna plants for the sulfur butterflies. If any of you are hobby lepidopterologists, we have a couple lime trees for giant swallowtails, but we have a lot of milkweeds and sweet almond. We love Mama Swole, especially. She loves the sweet almond plants. Oh, they smell so good. So good. But we have a lot of, I think my favorite plant is really the giant milkweed, because they can grow to be like 8 or 10 feet tall. I would be so fucking stoked to have really, really tall ones. Gaindolf the Hui, Papa Swole, I've raised my intake of fish and have been feeling great with amazing pumps. I was told farm raised is better, but I think wild caught keeps a better nutrient profile. What are your thoughts? Yeah, farmed raised is like grain fed cattle. They're fed corn and soy, and they're kept in like extreme restricted movements, so they get fat quicker. And a lot of times they color the salmon, for example. They color it, they dye it because it's like silver. It doesn't have the rich color because they're not eating the plankton or something like that, or the algae that gives them that color in the wild. Yeah, don't eat farm raised. Better? How? Cheaper? Yeah, but for obvious reasons. Because it's fed garbage that's essentially, they're fed industrial waste that's subsidized by the government. That's why it's cheaper. Corn and soy is not for human or animal consumption. Emphasis Productions. Papa Swole, I've been training for a marathon, also lifting 4 days a week. I've seen no significant drop in my gains. On the contrary, I'm getting leaner and still noticeably seeing gains. Okay. And how long you been doing that? And what does seeing gains mean? How are you measuring that? Just visually, or how you feel? Keep us posted. It always feels like that until you hit a wall. Be careful. Be careful and don't overtrain or under recover. Just be mindful. Very easy. It's like, oh, I feel great. And then that crash comes. Just be mindful. Tiff, are there any bad cuts of beef or not very nutritional? That's a good question. I mean, my main focus, my main recommendation would be to look for grass-fed and grass-finished beef as your primary. You know, if you get a healthy animal, you can eat that nose to tail. In terms of not very nutritional, I'm sure probably some of the organs might be less, I mean, definitely less, not as nutrient dense as liver or heart, for example. But in terms of the cuts of the beef, I would say for the most part, probably because there's certain vitamins and minerals that are, or for example, fat soluble. So you'll find them more in fattier cuts. So I don't know about not very nutritional. It just might be leaner cuts might not have the same amount of vitamins that might be stored in a fattier cut. That'd be a good Google to find out. It's a good question. You know, generally leaner cuts, I mean, you're not giving your dogs, like, oh, here's some ribeye. You're giving them like the really lean, hard to chew cuts. That's usually what hunters would give. You'd eat the organs and stuff like that, and you give like the intestines to the dogs, or you give, you know, some of the bone and like the gristle and stuff that's really hard for humans to chew. Grizzly, Papa Swole, when will you unleash the Swole variant so it can take over like COVID and monkeypox? Well, I wouldn't say monkeypox is taken over. I love how they say 6,000 people have monkeypox. It's mostly gay dudes that are banging each other in the butt. And 6,000, last time I checked, we had like 340 fucking million people. So there's that. So if you're fucking dudes, maybe don't fuck dudes for a little bit. If you're a dude, and wash your hands, and it'll be fine. I mean, just the 6,000 people. Oh my God, national emergency. No. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Heidi, does beef heart taste the same as liver? No. No, liver is kind of, I would call liver kind of like a chewy jello. Not a bad, it might sound gross to you, but it's kind of like rubbery and tastes metallic because of the iron. Heart, God, how does heart taste? Heart tastes a little bit sweeter, I suppose, but it's lean, it's a muscle. So it's more chewy. So if you chew, like let's say raw liver, it'll squish, squish, squish. Heart you have to chew. It's more like a steak. It's just muscle. It's so good for you. Heart and liver. If you have to add 2 organs, heart and liver, boom. Get some bone marrow in there too. That's primo. That's primo organ consumption. That's good shit. Nut the butt. Nut the butt. Not the butt. Okay. Not the butt.
Look at her. She looks like she's 19 years old, sitting there with her, like a little lady with her legs crossed.
Brenda, Papa Swole, I have a friend with free-range chickens, no antibiotics. Would these be good for organ, meat, liver, and heart? Monogastric animals, it's not going to be as healthy. You're not going to get the same nutrient density as, for example, grass-fed beef. Also, are they fed corn and soy? It's one thing for no antibiotics, but you are what you ate. So just make sure that, free range chickens, what else are they getting in their feed? Because that's going in your body too. And any kind of like pesticides or, I know no antibiotics, that's different. It's not as nutritionally dense, but people still eat things like, chicken heart and chicken liver. I haven't gone down that road, but if it's a healthy animal, it's better than if it's a not healthy animal. So, good food is good food. Doesn't mean you can't eat these things, but not as nutrient dense. Tyler, what happened to the shit posts we would cover? The pictures and the captions. Those were the shittiest shit posts. Indeed. I think we have a lot of fun with the videos, but we do have some now and again that we can go back to. I don't know if anyone prefers the pictures over the videos, but we used to do a lot more of that. But also on the episodes, there's so many more questions too. I really want to bias and do more of the Swole fan posts. And the Swole fan posts, honestly, the Swole fan posts keep on getting better and better. Every time I read Swole fan posts, I think they can't get better. But then I kind of know in the back of my head, like, of course they're going to get better. It's the fucking Swole fan posts. And then a lot of questions are coming in. So if there's a lot of questions, I want to make sure questions are answered. So as they keep on coming in, we just get into these great conversations and you all bring up good questions. But then, of course, the videos, they're heavy. They're heavy, so we need all of our attention for it. Speaking of which, I think
we choose truth over
facts. Speaking of which, let's fucking go balls deep.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That's deep.
Oh, speaking of deep, Andre says, what happened to Brittany Dawn? What did happen to Brittany Dawn? Didn't she find God again? Yeah, isn't she? She find, what is she doing? What is she doing? Baptizing people or some shit? I don't know. I don't know. Nothing worth discussing. Yeah, dealing with lawsuits. Isn't there some stuff still going with that? Let's see. Anthony. This one's a little bit heavy, but let's get into it. Anthony says, Papa Swolio, this is at the buzzer. Hey, from the Telegram chat. Hey, how the fuck do you get your wife on board with you? She just keeps going down the wrong road. She has gained a ton of weight, keeps buying shit for the kids to eat. My son just turned 12 yesterday. I just got home, was gone all week. He had some Little Debbie cookies and a Twinkie looking thing. Handed them to me and said, I saved these for you, Dad. I gave them back and said, I don't eat that shit. It's poison. Look at these ingredients. If you can't pronounce what's on the box, you shouldn't be putting them in your body. I crushed him for a moment. I could see in his eyes and face he had probably been guarding them like a lion from his other brothers just to give them to me. Ugh, fuck. Time to meditate. Yeah, that's, I hear you. A lot of you are parents out there. So Grizzly says, I don't know, Grizzly. Grizzly says, get a new wife. No. All right, hold on. Have you had this conversation? I think, look, your son's 12. Your son's 12. I would have this conversation with him. Explain to him. I really do think that, I mean, I don't have kids. I've been around a lot of young kids. I've educated young kids. You need to talk to them like an adult. Give them the information. Give them the information. Talk to them like an adult. Explain why. Explain what you're trying to do. That's rough, man. It's rough to not have the person that's like closest to you in your life not on board. Have you had this conversation with your wife? I think you should get your 12-year-old on board. Tell him you appreciate it. You appreciate the thought, but there's a reason why you don't want them. And the reason why, like, give him the reason for it. Grizzly said at 12, it's time to have the sit down. I just think, yeah. I mean, your kid loves you. Like he said, you were away all week and he was trying to, I mean, Anthony, how long have you been on this path? It sounds like you're trying to do all these things and you're inspired, but everyone else, the momentum going the other direction has been going for some time. So how long has this been going on? You had your swole pill moment, right? You had your swole epiphany, and now everything else feels like a big ball and chain, right? Yeah, that's another option. Watch How It's Made, the show that goes over how it's made, and it's pretty fucking gross. Aaron, get your wife into couples counseling. The road ahead looks rough. Might be an option. But it sounds like, I mean, this is, if she's buying crap for the kids and, yeah, but it's more than that. Anthony says, yes, I have had the talk with the wife. She just isn't into it. I'm going to keep plugging away at her. See, that has nothing to do with it. I know why she said it, but I'm just not into it. You're just not into being healthy and living without diabetes and obesity and fucking heart disease and cancer. Like, I'm just not into it. People don't realize what they're doing to themselves. You know? To say I'm just not into it. I'm just not into being healthy. I'm just not into not dying. I'm just not into being able to see my dick or my clit or be able to touch my toes or move without being out of breath. I don't understand. I don't understand that response. I understand what's going on, but that just fucking doesn't compute. Literally, that just doesn't compute in my brain. Follows up, been on the path off and on. I've been pretty solid for a few months. Well, here's another thing too, Anthony. You have to lead by example. And you have been, but you have to be relentless. You have to be non-compromising. You have to lead by example because you can't be a hypocrite, right? If you've been off and on, and now you're trying to bring everyone on and be critical about the food and really, well, everyone's seen you eat all the other shit for years, right? Everyone's seen you eat this stuff for years. And you haven't been consistent and it's still pretty fresh. It takes time. It takes time. So one thing that kids don't do well with, and no one does well with, is a hypocrite. The same thing with all the COVID lockdowns. You had all the politicians like, you know, stay inside. The boogeyman's going to get you. And they're fucking going and doing whatever, completely full of shit because the threat just wasn't there. And they were pretending, just trying to, you know, take power away from the people. No one likes a hypocrite. No one likes a hypocrite. It's like you say one thing, you do something else. You got to be practicing. You got to be preaching what you practice. So I always say, I don't practice what I preach what I practice. I'm sharing what I do. You can do it or not. You can take the advice. It's good advice if you take it. If it applies, use it for your advantage or don't. But it's important to live it and be that way. That's tough, man. That is so fucking tough. That's so tough to have kids and like just to know that's not the way. All right, let's get into the first Swole Fam post. First Swole Fam post. Not first Swole Fam post. First Balls D post. Pick a number 1, 2, or 3. It's a heavy question. There's a lot there. Pick a number 1, 2, or 3. 1, 2, or 3. In the meantime, let's read a post here from the Telegram from Annie. Hey all, just here to say I started the elimination diet last week, cut out gluten and limited to 24 grams of sugar the first week, then caffeine this week, and the first day I had a headache, just pushed through it, that shitty day, and since haven't had any headaches and feeling awesome. I've had caffeine every day since giving birth to my first child 10 years ago. Thanks for this push, really enjoying the process, feeling great, and tons of energy. Good for you. Good for you. Anthony, thanks, brother. I appreciate everything you do and say. I'm going to stay solid and keep on keeping on. Yeah, you have to lead by example, number one, and, it's leading by example and being receptive and understanding where everyone else, when you unplug from the matrix and people around you aren't, it's confusing. It's confusing. I'm sure you feel that way. It's confusing. It's confusing why. How can they not see it? How can they not see what's going on? How can they not see what is happening to their body? It can be rough. Let's go with Heidi. Heidi number 3. Heidi number 3.
You switch the samples.
All right. Heidi has chosen a video titled Thin Splaining. Oh God. It's like the beginning of a Saw movie. Okay. On the screen says, I don't know what it is. This is a perfect example of what we call, quote, thin splaining. And the question or the response on TikTok, the question reply video is about, it says, you're right. Fat isn't bad. Assigning moral value to a physical quantity is harmful and illogical, yet society still perpetuates these beliefs. Moral value. God, just be less fat.
This is a perfect example of what we call thin splaining. I am a fat person.
Yep.
Do not explain my own oppression to me.
I'll explain whatever I fucking want. You don't have to listen to logic and common sense if you don't want. Don't explain my oppression to me. Well, maybe because in your own little oppression bubble, your self-manifested oppression bubble, make-believe fat oppression bubble, you don't see the obvious answers that will help you live a better life.
People who aren't fat love to come onto a fat person's post where they're talking about language that is used to talk about us and about our bodies.
I'm going to stop you right there, Mochambo. You don't own language. You shouldn't post on social media. You are a prime example of someone who should not have social media. You shouldn't have a phone. You need more friends. You need more sunlight. You need therapy. Get off the internet.
And have something to say. It is not your place to argue with us about these things. I will say it one more time. Do not explain my own oppression to me.
I will.
As somebody who is not part of this marginalized group.
I'm exactly going to do that right now, actually. I'm going to explain exactly what's going on because I'm not part of your unhealthy group. Because I'm not fighting for fat oppression. I know how to not be fat. You might want to subscribe to the podcast because I know how for you not to be fat. So you have a choice. You can come and not be fat anymore by making better lifestyle choices, or you can stay over there and try to keep on grifting followers and get more attention because those hashtags are trendy right now. Your choice.
Wild for you to assume that you know better than I do when I live in this body every day.
I know exactly better than you do when it comes to being healthy because you are not. And that's what I do for a living, is help people with these issues. So you live in that body every day. I noticed that you do. We all notice that you live in that body every day. Thus, the body that we see before us. Are we all on the same page? Are we making this, is this clear?
I'm well aware of these things. I'm still criticizing the language that was used.
We know. So her on Jesus Christ, her on TikTok is the gay sea witch. The gay sea witch, but gay is GHEY. So it's like Call of Duty gay, like gay. The gay sea witch. Awesome. That's
attacks on me, quite frankly, are attacks on science.
The gay sea witch. Ah, yes. Are you telling me, gay sea witch, that you know better than me about health? Wow. All right. Pick a number. Actually, I want to do number 1 first. So we're just going to do that one because the number 2 is we got to end with the pronouns. If I do the pronoun video now, it's going to be game over. My brain's going to explode. I'm not going to make it to the end of the show. And we're going to end up doing one video. I'm going to scream into the duck, blow out my vocal cords, and that's going to be the show. So we'll do number 1 first, which is called Freedom with Food. And just from the thumbnail, I can tell that this person certainly feels very free with food. All foods, I'm sure, in all sorts of quantities, because food is not good or bad. All food has calories, and energy is not inherently morally bad. What the fuck? You have to just lie to yourself to justify eating a whole row of cookies, like a whole sleeve. All right. Gotta love it when an obese person talks about food freedom. It doesn't make any sense. Like a meth head being like, oh, unlimited meth, man. I'm sorry, with no teeth. Yeah. It's not a good look.
I don't think most people know how incredible of a feeling it is to have
eardrums. My God, can you have less of an abrasive voice or more of an abrasive voice? It says trigger warning, TW. The bottom bar is blocking it, but it says, all right, I'll remove it just so you can see. It says trigger warning, calorie counting, and diet culture. Oh no.
Matt Damon.
Oh no. Trigger warning. Everybody, trigger warning. They're going to talk about calories and diet culture. Trigger warning. If you get triggered by talking about the amount of energy that's required to raise 1 gram of water, 1 degree centigrade, you're out of your fucking mind. You need mental help immediately. Let's listen to this. It's so scary. It's so scary.
I don't think most people know how incredible of a feeling it is to have freedom with food. Seriously, I used to spend so much time worrying about what I was going to eat, how much of it, how many calories it was.
Did you really though? You ate it anyway though. You worried about it, but you still ate it. Yeah. Yeah, you did.
How much I'd eaten for the day, just so much anxiety and stress and just being horrible to myself and openly fat phobic to everyone else around me who heard me talk like this. Allowing yourself to eat foods that your body wants you to, and that
it's called an addiction. It's called an addiction. Eating the foods your body wants you to. Let me tell you something. Your body doesn't want you to eat Taco Bell or cookies or chips or soda or ice cream. It doesn't want you to eat those things. You have addictions. You have addictions and you're justifying your addictions by calling it food freedom. Yeah, drug freedom. How about crack cocaine freedom? I mean, I guess that's the Hunter Biden treatment. Oh, come on, man. Well, you raised them. Shouldn't have diddled the kids, Joe. You know what I'm saying? Come on. What are you doing here? What are we doing?
it's going to include fruits and vegetables and proteins and everything is amazing.
All right. So that's what makes her feel good about stuffing her face. Trigger warning, calorie counting, and diet culture. Trigger warning. Trigger warning. Anyone else triggered? I guess I'm a little bit triggered. I guess I'm a little bit perturbed, I would say. Perturbed is a good word. Not there. Sugars are antidepressant.
I'm totally comfortable in my body. I just don't want to be in pain.
No medication except my fucking antidepressants.
Soundboard. No medication except my fucking antidepressant. Is it the best soundboard ever that we got? Is it the best soundboard? It might be the best one.
No medication except my fucking antidepressants.
Yeah, no medication except my fucking antidepressants. Okay. So what is the only thing that's worse than pronouns? Pronouns are a horrible thing. Terrible, terrible, terrible thing. Terrible. It's so terrible. It's terrible. We have them. Right? She, her, he, him. Like, but we don't have to clarify that in our bios. It's just what a male is called and referred to in language and what a female is. Now, there's something that's afoot. We've talked about them before. Neopronouns. Now, these are pretty much everything that's come out. Like, you could be a zipper or a unicorn, uni, or like the bee pronoun, like the really, really stupid ones. So this video, I'm just giving you a preface. The neopronouns are like the fairy ones, like fae or whatever. It's like people that want to, be furries or cosplay. Yeah, the cat ones, the meow ones. So this video is titled, the reason why I said that is this is titled neopronouns. So, and this is a repost by Libs of TikTok. So it's going to be brutal. So I don't know what's going to come out of this video. I don't know what this thing is going to say, but I'm ready. I'm ready. We are ready. Right, Howard? Okay. Here we go.
What's in the box?
They don't even know what's in the box.
So I still use neopronouns, and that's not changing. But I have made a decision, which is that if for some reason you can't use neopronouns to refer to me, and you need a word that you already know how it fits into the English language, you may refer to me as it, its.
They said the quiet part out loud.
Matt Damon.
I better use my strong hand.
Thank you. Thank you for the permission. Oh, that's what I call you anyway. You're all its. I always say it when I can't tell what the fuck it is. Oh my God, you may refer to me as it or its. You know what? With absolute fucking pleasure. That's the most accurate thing I've ever heard on this podcast.
Fits into the English language, you may refer to me as it, its.
Done.
They, them makes me super dysphoric.
And you're only one person, so you can't be a plural. So there's that too.
It, its is cool. Non-noun neopronouns are still my preferred.
I know I'm pausing this all the time. I can't. Non-noun neopronouns are still my preferred. All right, we're going back downhill. We're sliding backwards. We're getting there. We're getting somewhere. Jeez, this is fucking weird.
Non-noun neopronouns are still my preferred, especially the ones that keep the E sound, like E or Z or V. But if you need a pronoun like while you're learning those, or if for some reason neopronouns are inaccessible to you, then it is.
For some reason, neopronouns are inaccessible to you? I'm sorry, are these things that I have to look for? Why would they be inaccessible to me? Is it, where would I find it? At the end of a rainbow? Where do I find this? Do I have to I don't know, fight the ogre in order to win or access these? Is this like World of Warcraft or something? Is this some kind of RPG? Like I have to talk to the mystic at the end of the forever pier and sail to the end of the ocean in order to get the power ring in order to, I don't know, win the lucky charm or whatever the fuck. inaccessible. Oh, well, I'm learning those. Oh, well, I'm memorizing all your bullshit. Yeah, I'll just call you it in the meantime. How can you want to be called it or its? Not to mention, can I remind all of you that this is the things that are referred to. You're not even there. So it's none of your fucking business what I call you when you're not around. It or its. I'm going to call you by your name. How about the name of you? It's called a name. Name. What's your name? What's your name? Say my name. Say it.
Of course, if you're not using my pronouns just because you don't want to or you think they're invalid, you can fuck right off. Thanks!
That's a disgusting part about these videos, right? If you don't want to use them because you don't want to, no, I don't want to, and I don't have to. Or you think they're invalid, I think they are absolutely retarded. I think they're insane. I can fuck right off. So loving and compassionate. You've never accomplished anything in your life, so you're getting off on your little power trip on social media by trying to command other people to call you and play this fucking game of night crawlers with you. No one wants to play. No one that is a functioning member of society, that has a job, that has responsibilities outside of making TikTok videos where you try to validate yourself because you didn't get hugged enough as a child, or you got diddled by your preschool teacher who thought he was like a pansexual, non-cis, hetero fairy or something like that. Yeah. Oh, you can. How about you?
Fuck yourself.
No, you fuck off. You fuck off. I'm going to call you a woman and a girl because that's what you sound like and look like.
What is the best move
How's that?
to silence a woman?
I wonder if it's going to be upset. Oh, okay. Yeah, try that in Saudi Arabia. See how that goes. Okay, well, there's Rufus. We're back to reality. Ah, very nice. Excellent. Excellent. Pronouns. I was molded by them. Molded by pronouns. All right, here we go. We got a Don't Be a Beesh card. Let's put Tessie back in Candyland. Fam, we have an amazing Swole card to give away. And, oh my God, don't forget, fam, we have an overtime segment tomorrow after the Mancast. Make sure that you are joining the fam today, swarmsex.com, in order to get access to the private live stream tomorrow. It'll be live right after we go live for the public stream, and then we are going into overtime. You don't want to miss out on that. They're fucking awesome. Overtime segments are always the bee's knees. Don't miss out on that. All right. Now, fam. Here we go. Falcon. Falcon. There you are. Because. Today's Swole card is well deserved. Today's card goes to Angie. Congratulations. A lot of you are deserving. All of you dropping that hashtag in the comments are deserving. After this post, there is no one that is being less of a beesh than Angie. This is an awesome post. I highly, highly recommend you go back and watch the beginning of this. What an amazing fucking post. Uprooted her life, 30 years in one town, cashed out, got the fuck out, and is now focusing on her. Talk about not being a beesh. So everyone, go inside the Facebook group and let Angie know that she won today's Swole card. Angie, send us an email to support@swolenormous.com, Swole card 2280 Schwam in the subject and your mailing address in the body of the email, and we'll send you this amazing Swole card. What a great job. Great job. Well done. What an example. Talk about setting a fucking example there. There's a little Tainty Man in the top right-hand corner for your viewing pleasure. Isn't he glorious? Isn't he lovely? Isn't he such a tainted boy?
Emotional damage.
He's so sleepy. We'll take a couple soundboard requests.
Dodgson, we've got
If you got
Dodgson here.
if you got something you want to hear, I think a lot of you do.
Hey, stop!
Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying in baseball.
How about I send you a hobo's dick cheese?
Hadouken! Hadouken! Hadouken!
I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you?
Ever served in a forward area?
I'm totally comfortable in my body. I just don't want to be in pain.
Another example of kink gender would be if someone feels like they have different layers or flavors to their particular gender.
Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn! What the fuck is that?
This fucking sick gains. Sick fucking gains. Yeah, is the gains of the fucking Swole fam.
I am the danger.
What the hell kind of country is this where I can only hate a man if he's white?
Inconceivable!
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing. And by the way, I sit on the stand and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun.
Boys have a
and the
penis,
kids used to come up and reach in and pull and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up
What
again.
you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Here we go. No hands. Fucking nailed it. That was great. That was fucking fire. Yeah. All right. Winch that shit back up. Fam, it is time to say goodbye, but we'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. Right, Tainty Man? Right, Rufus? Good boy. We're all done. Show's over. Not even going to move. No fucks. No fucks given. Fam, share the stream. Make sure you check out the membership specials going on over there at swolenormousx.com. And we will be back here tomorrow for 2282. It is Fef. And of course, we have an overtime segment going live right after. I will see you then, Beaches. Peace, McGeese. Deuce, Magoose. Your boy, Papa Swole. Yo. Oh.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock's crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like
Then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint you. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Ay, yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. Off topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element, no ollies.